Hi, my name is Joey Neill. I'm the technical director here at FRIGID, New York, and I'm here right now to talk to you and tell you about Gather, which is the platform that we're going to be using for our FRIGID 15 party and other parties, I'm sure, in the future. So let's pop into it. Boom. So you launch and you will find yourself here. There's a lot of things to cover really quick. So I'm going to try and go through them step by step. First things first, down here at the bottom is your character thing. Your name will be anonymous when you get in. I'm sure you don't want that. Just go ahead and you can select, boom, and make it whatever you want. You can change your avatar to many things. You can change the color of your thing, whatever. That is a lot of fun. I've landed on what I am pretty sure that I want. So boom, you've got your name, you've got your character in. Which character am I? You will have a little white circle underneath your character. And that it will be really helpful when there's more than just two people hanging out inside of the Gather Town room. Movement. Obviously, we don't all want to just spawn and stay there the whole time. There's all this room over here. How do we get there? You do that with the use of the arrow keys, right? So up is up, except the arrows is currently in front of me. Up is up, down is down, left is left, right is right. It's fantastic. You can also, if you don't have arrow keys or if you are used to it, you can use the W, A, S, and D keys to move around. That's what I do personally. There's no difference. That's just what it is. So there's movement. You can move around. Great. You'll notice that when I walked over here, Erez's little box went away. Boom. And we're back. If you are standing right next to someone, their image will appear right here. And if you need to make everything bigger, boom, there's this little expand key so that you can see them and have more like a normal Zoom call with nice big faces rather than these tiny little boxes up here. If you walk away from them, you get 6 steps, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it's 5 when you're right next to them. Yeah. I knew it was 5. You get 5 steps. If you take 5 steps over, they'll disappear. You'll no longer be able to talk to them. Now, that's a pretty large distance. So the way that we get around that is with these private spaces. These are each of these chairs is each of these sets of chairs is a private space, right? So if I'm here, boom, you can see the screen gets dark. I get a little thing. You've entered a private space. That's what that said. And only me and this person will be able to talk to each other. Even if Erez were to run all the way over here and stand right here, we wouldn't be able to interact because we're in this private space. But if he were to jump, boom, right here, now we're in a private space. And since there's only 2 squares available for this private space, no one else would be able to join us. So if we come over here to this set of 3, you know what, I'm going to go with this set. Yeah, this set of 4. There's a little poster there that pops up and fills the space. So you have these 4 seats that are connected, right? We can get 4 people in here. Actually, maybe 5. Nope, it's 4. And that, yeah, that's helpful for if you want more people. If you need more people than that, just bunch up together in a corner somewhere like you normally would. Yeah, these singles aren't private spaces because that just didn't quite make sense. Yeah, so that's kind of the basics of talking to each other. There are occasions, there may be some tonight at the Frigid 15 thing. I am aware that I'm recording this late. We're having some technical difficulties recording it earlier. Yeah. If for some reason we have a performer, they will stand on this circle. That will give them a spotlight to the whole room. Everyone will be able to see them. Nobody else. Hold on. Yeah, everyone will be able to see them. They won't be able to see anybody else. Unless they're seeing someone within the 5 square box around them. Yeah. Now, when you get in, it's likely that your camera won't be working, or your microphone won't be working, or your speakers won't be working. Similar to Zoom, sometimes it'll default to just some random thing that makes no sense. So when you get in, just make sure that you come in, settings, you will just see this. And you can switch your inputs, right? So I'm using my webcam to do the recording, so I actually it's not available to me. But yours should be. You should only have like 1, maybe 2 options. Microphone as well, you should only have 1, maybe 2 options. Set those the way that they should be. Speakers, make sure that those are what you're using. For speakers, I highly recommend using a headset or a headphones, because it can help reduce a lot of that echo that can happen. It doesn't generally it doesn't generally hurt anything if you have just open speakers, but occasionally we've had some weirdness. So if you have headphones, use them. If not, I'm sure that it normally works fine, except for some really specific cases that I don't think we're going to get into most of the time. I think those cases are if you're watching a video next to a bunch of people, it may just be best to mute your microphone. Right? If you're in the thought I was right over. If you're in this screen down in the corner is you'll be able to mute your microphone. It'll give you a really clear indicator that you've muted your microphone. Same with that. Now, yeah. Currently you can see my camera is this gather screen. You will see your own face here. So that's the gist of movement and interacting and all that fun stuff. There's one more thing that I want to talk about. 2 more things that I want to talk about. One is going to other places. You'll see these big signs, 2 backyard and 2 bar. Let me tell you what that's about. If you walk up to these little lantern-y looking doodads, you can just boom. Now, what are St. Mark's? Or as close to St. Mark's as we could get in this program. The same rule applies for these chairs. If you are in a collection of them, that will be a private space. This one has 1 extra, but that's okay. Except for the single. I think even these are, this whole little strip right here. Same goes for the podium. If you step in front of the podium, boom, spotlit, everyone can see you. Everyone else may not necessarily, or you may not be able to, hold on, you may not be able to hear anyone else necessarily, but they'll all be able to hear you. That's pretty much exclusively for performers. If you find yourself getting that little notification, it's probably best just to step off unless you're there for a particular purpose. The next thing is there's a couple of spots here, and I'm only going to show you, that was what was happening earlier, where every time we walked by we had a little thing come up. There's an image here, but it's tiny. If you're next to an object that's interactable. Is that a word? It's a word today. If you step near something that's interactable, I think within like 2 squares of it, it'll pop up. If you want to see it nice and big on your screen, you can hit X, and that blows it up, fills the whole screen. Wow, this is before my time. When you was 2015, yeah, that was before I was here. I recognize some of the people though. Yeah, so I think that's basically all of it. I guess one more thing that I just thought of is that if you're in this spotlight square, that will only broadcast to this room. If we go back to the crane, that's through this right here. People in the crane will not be able to hear what's being broadcast as a spotlight in USM. Yeah, and that's really the gist of it. Yeah, I think everything else is really clear once you're right in front of it. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and getting your bearings before jumping in. I hope that I will see you there. Toodaloo.